the state of the Rochdale Canal, just going past the gay village, opposite the Domus Monsters at Domus, just near the Deansgate, I think it is. Yeah, I was walking this here last time recently. I just couldn't believe the state of the canal. I mean, it's like a dumping ground, and it's so disgusting. It's unbelievable. Really is shocking. And I actually seen some fish as well, little fish here as well. There's even bikes being thrown in, and all kinds of people are just dumping in a lot of their cans and drinks and things. And there's a lot of building work stuff that's thrown in as well, which is just ridiculous. But I was so shocked. I just couldn't believe it. I had to make this. But there seems to be that the water level is increased. There must be some building works. But Lock 90, we're going into Lock 90 now. But yeah, the water seems to be replenishing. But when it was drained, it was so much more worse. And it was, as I said, it was quite shocking. Yeah, the water seems to have returned. But look how disgusting it is. And I urge you people who are worried and concerned about your canals to join the Canal Trust, which is a charity that helps clean the canals and make sure the canals are nice and clean. So like I said, it's just, look at it. I mean, this is where the clubs are, and it's all just building up here because all the clubs are here where they go for a night out. And I really think that the environmental groups and agencies should actually demand that these clubs and pubs actually charge a fee for the dumping of plastic bottles and drink alcohol, beer and everything. I really think there needs to be some kind of environmental enforcement, environmental action here. So you've got El Diablo, which is one of them, and this is Deansgate, like you can see. Deansgate, El Diablo. So that's one of the clubs here, and like I said, they're just dumping. Their customers come here and they just dump everything in the canal, and it's just ruining. What about the birds? And there's loads of geese and there's loads of ducks and stuff like that, and they're going to get damaged, and it's a health and safety risk. And there's Lolo, whatever that's called, and this is Deansgate Locks. Deansgate Locks. And like I said, I'm so freaking disgusted. I'm really disgusted at the state of this. And this is only happening because there's no enforcement and nobody's taking action. This is why this is like this. Like I said, there needs to be some kind of enforcement, and these businesses should actually be held accountable. There should be some legal action where they're actually people demand that they're not allowed, or there's a higher price for plastic bottles and for drinking alcohol and stuff. They're obviously childish people who go here to go clubbing, and they're not responsible people at all. So as I said, they need to be held accountable. So like I said, there needs to be some action that needs to be taken place. Look at the all the cans that are drying up into the canal as well. It's absolutely disgusting. And this is the pop world where they party at the Deansgate Locks. So as you can see, Deansgate, Castlefield Locks, and this is the Arc as well. And there's quite a lot of seems to be quite a lot of clubs here. So most people go out on a night out around here. But yeah, like I said, it's really disgusting, and it's not fair for the wildlife and the geese and the ducks and stuff like that. And also, people are living in boats as well, and they need to travel, and it's just blocking everything, it's damaging everything. So, and that's the bee house. I don't know what that is. That's the bee house, and there's something called the Arc, and there's Deansgate Locks, Pop World, and Arc, which is bar. And so there's a lot of bars here and stuff like this. But like I said, it's just absolutely disgusting what's going on around here. And there needs to be some kind of enforcement action. Somebody needs to take action against these clubs and these pubs, because obviously they're allowing their customers to just dump everything, and there's no responsibility, and doesn't seem to be any consequences for their actions that they're doing, and they've gotten away with it, and that's why this is the mess that it is. And these people need to be held criminally accountable, and if the environmental officers should be coming here at night and checking who's actually dumping these beer cans and glass bottles and psychopaths, absolute psychopaths that go here to these clubs, and they obviously live around the Hilton and they live around here, and this is what they're up to. They're sickening, absolute sick psychopath, twisted minds who just, totally selfish and having a good time out for a night out. Oh yeah, let's just dump all our drinks and bottles and glass and everything into the canal. Yeah, because nobody's watching and we can get away with it. Sick psychopaths. That is what you call a sick psychopath. So, like I said, there definitely needs to be some kind of environmental enforcement. Yeah, on this side it's much better because the pubs and clubs are not on here, but still it's as you can see there, you can see the fish as well, and they're all sort of trapped there. So it seems to be quite a big population of fish in the Deansgate area. But like I said, I'm just so disgusted. It just spoils the view as well for people who are, wanting to enjoy the view and just have a nice time, and it just ruins everything. It ruins your experience as well. Like I said, there really needs to be some kind of action that's taken. Look at all that, all these rusted cans that have been lying there because it's been dumped. Stuff has been dumped. So many things have been dumped. And this is usually dumped at night, where the people are clubbing in the Deansgate Locks area, are like they're just dumping all their fucking thing. It's psychopaths, total psychopaths. That is amazing. Look at the fishes. That is pretty cool though. And their poor fish's lifespans will be going down as well. As you can see, that's the state of this place here. It's absolutely disgusting environmental damage. That's like a lot of the green algae, I think, is growing around here now. And I think this area is much better because they've allowed the green algae to grow and stuff, which is dealing with all the pollution. But it's a real shame, and I think the water levels must have gone down as well, because the canal is definitely not as full as it used to be. So, and you can see, like as I said, you can see cans and everywhere, and oh my god, it's just sickening, absolutely sickening. There needs to be environmental enforcement in this area, and people need to be fined, especially those clubbers who are clubbing at Deansgate Locks. There needs to be environmental officers to actually fine these people, and there needs to be an increase in taxes for the alcohol that they're actually pumping out, and the disposable waste. Really, I think they should, because obviously they've proven that they're not capable of being adults. They need to be actually they need to be closed down for a period of time and fined, and money needs to be or there needs to be, as I said, there needs to be enforcement where they're not allowed to take out the drinks and they can only drink inside. But again, how do you enforce that? And that's going to be something that needs to be. But obviously, the fact that things haven't been enforced is why they've gotten away with it, and they dumped all this stuff. So, like I said, So this is the state of Manchester, and just imagine how this is probably up and down the country as well. People are drinking alcohol, and there's beer gardens, and there's no environmental officers, or there's no environmental regulation, and they're just allowed to. There needs to be some serious regulation with the alcohol industry as well, because obviously they're out of hand as well. There's even people have thrown suitcases and hats as well, and all kinds of disgusting things. And there's even chairs, and there's even, oh my god, it's just sickening. It just comes to show you how people in Manchester are irresponsible, and well, people generally are irresponsible and are not to be trusted, are not to be here's another place called the Albert's Shed, which is another drinking beer place where everybody comes at night and to chill and socialise, and then they just probably dump all their shit on obviously you can't see it now because the water level has gone rise, so you can't see the damage, but that's the Albert's Shed, and this is like a beer garden, and this is where they all come out, and these are mostly, these beer gardens are usually near the canals, so people are drinking and relaxing near the canals. So like I said, these places really need to be hit hard with law enforcement and with environmental protections as well. Because imagine it was a river, I can imagine that the people are doing it there as well, because there needs to be some more serious. I think that we need to get rid of single-use plastic now altogether, and these people need to be drinking inside. So, or just increase the price for the plastics, I don't know. But definitely we need to have these conversations in the public to discuss how we're going to move forward and how we're going to deal with these psychopathic, it's mostly young people. I mean, I'm a young person myself, but I definitely believe it's young people, because it's just drinking alcohol and disgusting culture of just coming out here and smoking and drinking alcohol. And that's it. It's mostly the young people who are doing it. So, and like I said, there needs to be some kind of pressure put on to the alcoholic, the beer gardens and the pubs and the clubs as well.